Hey everyone, Lomax here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a Krieg leveling guide. We're going to be speccing melee, because I think that's the most effective way of going from the start. I've never really done a Hellborn, but I think melee is pretty much effective all throughout. Even in the OP levels, it's a little harder, but it still can work. So we're going to start off with Krieg's action skill, BuzzX Rampage, which allows you to just basically run at everything. I don't know why I clicked that so many times. Run at everything, and anytime you kill something, you get all your health back. It becomes really, really good later when you get the capstone in this middle tree, but for now we're gonna go ahead and spec into Empty the Rage, which is gonna give us bonus melee damage. It's basically, this whole tree is about melee damage, so it's gonna give us bonus melee damage if your shield is down and your mag is empty. And we're going to follow that up with Feed the Meat, which is going to give us more max health and a longer shield recharge delay. And Krieg and shield recharge delay go hand in hand. The longer the shield recharge delay, the better. He's got a lot of skills that can be buffed when you have no shield. So after we go into Feed the Meat, we're going to go into Strip the Flesh, which will give us bonus explosive damage, which is really, really useful, especially if you have something like a Herald or a Torg shotgun. Any Torg weapon, really, at all. It's really good for that, and you also get bonus explosive damage and fight for your life, so if you need a second wind and you have some sort of explosive rocket launcher, it can be really, really useful. We're going to follow that up by going 4 points into Salt the Wound. We're going to throw a point in here, that's why we don't do 5. But the Salt the Wound is going to give you bonus melee damage and shotgun damage every time you gain a stack of Salt the Wound, and every time you get, if you take direct health damage, you get a stack. And you can go up to 20 stacks. So we're going to throw a point into Redeem the Soul. I like using it because it gives you more fight for your lifetime. Even, you know, it has a purpose other than just instantly healing someone in solo play. So that's nice. But yeah, in co-op play, you can instantly heal someone who goes down. That's kind of the nice thing about it. It's like res, but I don't know, you kind of die. But again, increased fight for your life. Timer is what I'm using it for generally. So next, I'm gonna go into STV because the final build is going to have STV. A lot of people don't like to go into it in normal because you really don't need it. I'm only gonna do it because that's what the end build is gonna have, STV. Some people will go into this skill, which I don't recommend putting more than 1 point into, by the way. Especially like if you have a Reaper comm or something that buffs it, you're gonna get more than 50% anyways. Like 1 point will buff it 50%. But the next point will only do 60, so it's a big drop off, so that's why I only put 1 point in it. But people will go, you know, kind of all over the place. Not really here, but some people do like the fuse. I'm not a fan of it. Embrace the Pain's a good one. If you have a shield with a long delay, then it also increases your delay, so that helps out. But you get fire rate. When your shield's down, increased fire rate. This one will allow you to get BuzzX Rampage back faster when you take damage, but if you're in co-op, and your teammates can hurt you. So we're just going to go here, long story short. And then we're going to end this tree, well, I guess for now, probably throw another point there later, but we're going to close it out with Release the Beast, which is going to be able to turn us into an ultimate badass whenever we use our action skill when we are under 33% of our health. It's really awesome. And once you hit level 31, I can't ever remember if it's 31 or 32, but once you get this skill, then you're styling. Alright. Now we're going to go down the Bloodlust tree, and we're going to do what I like to call the L shape. I don't know if anyone else calls it that, but we do this L shape right here. So we're going to go into Blood-Filled Guns to start off the tree, which gives us an increased magazine size for every stack of Bloodlust we have. Now we get stacks of Bloodlust anytime we deal damage to an enemy, so just a bullet. Area of effect grenades like Teslas are really, really good at building Bloodlust stacks. Any dots will do it too. But yeah, you can go up to 250% of your mag size, which is a lot. We're going to follow that up with Taste of Blood, which is going to give us damage reduction in BuzzX Rampage. And we also get more Bloodlust stacks per kill in BuzzX Rampage too, which is really, really nice. It's all very useful for, you know, Blood Explosion, which we'll get later. But for now, we're going to go into Bloodbath. And what Bloodbath does, it's one of Krieg's best skills, but what it does is anytime you kill something with a grenade or explosion damage, you know, this includes splash damage, so a lot of weapons that have splash damage can proc this. You have this kill skill that activates, and it gives you a hell of a lot of damage. As you can see, it's 5% per bloodlust stack, which is up to 500% with, you know, this comm that I'm using. It's 250, but with this comm it's 500. It can be as high as 550 with a blood blister comm with +6 in this skill. Also, if you kill anyone in this manner, you get a chance to drop a grenade or have the enemy drop a grenade. So definitely, if you're melee or Hellborn, you're going to want this skill. And we're going to follow that up with Buzzx Bombardier. Anytime we throw our axe, we're going to do explosive damage. Be careful though, this can kill you. The axe can do damage if you throw it at your feet or at an enemy close to you. And then we're going to finish up this L shape with Field of Blood. We're going to put 5 points into Field of Blood. Anytime we kill an enemy with melee, it increases our grenade damage, and this is very, very good with Buzzx Bombardier, because if we kill something with melee and then start throwing our axes, we're going to do a ton of damage. And, you know, the damage is dependent on stacks. And a lot of these skills are dependent on the stack. That's kind of the whole gimmick of this tree. So, once we get Field of Blood, we're gonna go down into Nervous Blood, which is going to increase our reload speed. We're going to put 4 points here, because you can see we can throw another point in Blood Explosion. We're going to throw a point here, or 4 points here, and we're going to get reload speed increase per stack up to 1.2%. And then we're going to follow it up with Blood Explosion. Anytime we kill an enemy, you will see an Elemental Nova. And if there's no element, it's going to be explosive. You see an Elemental Nova of the element that killed the enemy. So if you killed something with like a twister or, you know, a shotgun, you're going to get a shock explosion, a fire elements gun, fire explosion, etc., etc. Anytime we kill something with melee, you're going to get just a regular explosion, but Krieg is really, really good with explosives because of Strip the Flesh. So, Bloodlust is a skill you do not want to miss out on. Again, either melee or Hellborn. Alright, now the last 15 points I always have a hard time figuring out where I want to put them. But recently I've been liking to go down to Pain as Power, so we're going to throw 5 points into Fueled Fire. Which basically, anytime we kill something, it increases our chance of causing elemental effects. But really, 5 points, because we need to get down to here. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't really think too much about it. It can light yourself on fire too, which can be kind of a pain. But we're gonna go and throw 4 points into Pain as Power. The reason I don't do 5 is because I like throwing 5 here. But what Pain as Power does is it increases your weapon and melee damage, and it's buffed with a legendary Cyclicom, which is why I throw points here. You get that like after 61, or after 60? 61 and up. But it does decrease your critical hit damage. So, you know, if you're Hellborn Krieg, it depends on the situation, I guess, if you want to use it. But we're not Hellborn Krieg, we're melee Krieg, so bonus melee damage. Woo! Then we're going to throw 5 points into Embrace the Pain, skill I talked about earlier. We get an increased fire rate and a shield recharge delay. When your shields are down, the fire rate is increased. So, and then we're going to throw our last point into Assault the Wound, close that out, and that's going to do it for the tree. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything, I like how you can't see this here, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section, and see you next time.